Welcome to This Week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh, where Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh will be sharing his views on some of the issues making news this week in US, India and elsewhere. Thank you, Dr. Parikh, for talking to us.
Namaskar.
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 My first question today is, Liz Truss is the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The challenges that lie ahead of her are inflation, which in the United Kingdom has exceeded 10% for the first time in 40 years. According to the Bank of England, inflation will hit 13% in October. Annual home energy costs would increase by 80% for Britain. Thousands of workers in the legal profession, the postal service, railroads, ports and garbage collection are striking in protest of the rising cost of living. Trade is also being impacted by Brexit, particularly with the European Union, which is the UK's top trading partner. Exports and imports are expected to be around 15% lower. The cost of food and energy is rising. How do you think will Liz Truss deal with this?
Well, first let me congratulate new Prime Minister Liz Truss. She was finance minister in Boris previous Prime Minister Boris administration. She is very smart, very seasoned, and very senior leader in the Conservative Party there in United Kingdom. She is usually moderately conservative, and now the mood of the country is such that she is kind of she won the election by talking very strict, strict conservative, and she has a lot of challenges, particularly the inflation, as you mentioned, particularly the Brexit, because of Brexit, their trade with the other European countries is completely kind of upside down, and of course that's why there is a lot of unrest in the United Kingdom from the laborers and other workers, and in UK even this what you call worker association are very strong and very powerful, and it's very difficult. I mean, if they start protesting, then government has to listen. So I think she really faced with a lot of challenges, and let's hope so that she will do good.
So when this Brexit, UK decided to go for the Brexit, what was US stance on that? Particularly President Biden didn't seem to be too happy with that.
No, because see, the Brexit, they did a Brexit before even Biden time, even before Trump time probably. Because Brexit is because England thought that in order to protect their currency or in order to protect their trades, certain businesses, they didn't want to be part of the European trade. Because once you are in the part of the European trade, all the rules and regulation applies from the European Union. And in European Union, according to UK or Britishers, that certain partners are very weak partners, economically speaking, like Turkey or like Spain, even like Portugal, and they did not want to carry that burden of weak partners with them. And they wanted to have all freedom, how to trade with the whole world, different countries of the world. And why the Biden was saying, against opposing that, because Biden is basically liberal Democrats, and the liberal Democrats wants everybody to work together.
Right.
Even though you have to suffer a little bit, it doesn't matter, and that's her philosophy.
Got it. So my next question. In a phone call to President Biden, both Liz Truss and Biden reinforced their commitment to strengthening global liberty, tackling the risks posed by autocracies, and ensuring Putin fails in Ukraine. What is the status of Russia-Ukraine war? Who is losing? Do the sanctions mean anything? Because Putin doesn't seem bothered.
Well, I think right now, obviously, Russia is losing. because Russia thought that this war will be over within 2 to 4 weeks, and now it's almost 6 months. And not only that, but because of the war is dragging on, USA and European ally, NATO ally, has enough time to reinforce the Ukrainian army. And that's why now what I heard that from last week, Ukrainian army even started counter attacks and try to take back their land. So I think it's a completely mess. It's a stalemate there. And sanction is working, but no sanction works 100% anyway, because every country always behaves or act according to their own interest. So, but Russia is suffering, and I think it looks like it's a stalemate. No one is winning, and they are looking for face-saving formula so Russia can declare the victory and get out of it.
Moving on, President Joe Biden's administration on Tuesday said it would be counterproductive to brand Russia a state sponsor of terrorism, rejecting calls from Ukraine and lawmakers to take the far-reaching action. The United States only brands 4 nations as state sponsors of terrorism with much smaller economies than Russia's, which is Iran, Syria, North Korea and Cuba. In the recent past, Biden has called Putin a butcher, war criminal, committing genocide in Ukraine. Is the US going soft on Russia, or was it a case of Biden's mental faculty, which people believe is compromised?
No, I think President's mental faculty is intact and is good. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. This is called diplomacy or politics. In politics, always there's no permanent friend or no permanent enemies.
Right.
So if President Biden says something 2 months ago, doesn't mean that he would not say anything just opposite today, because it all depends upon the diplomacy and the current situation. So I think all this is a rhetoric, kind of political rhetoric and diplomacy, and so I would not pay much attention to it. And at the end of the day, USA needs Russia for trade, and Russia needs USA for trade and economic growth. And both country has more than enough nuclear armaments, which can destroy whole world 100 times. So they have to work together, even though they don't like each other. They have to cooperate with each other, and that's what Biden is saying.
Why wouldn't US call out China as a state sponsor of terrorism?
No, because China again is economically a second economy, the second largest economy in the world. So when the country which has very economically powerful, you cannot call them terrorists. Even though they might be doing some activities indirectly, which may describe as a terrorism, but you cannot say that in diplomacy.
Joe Biden's speech in Philadelphia warned that MAGA Republicans are a threat to American values and urged voters to choose a different path. He said Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the foundations of our very republic. What are your views on that?
Well, I think, he has something, again, it's a political rhetoric, right? Because there are half of the country believes in Trump conservatism, and half of the country believes in Biden liberalism. So we don't know who is right or wrong, but every issue has both sides. So you cannot judge whole thing and whitewash or brush up whole thing in one brush, and it means it's always, all this thing is issue by issue, and certain issue, even Biden gave the help to pumped a lot of money to the all the families during the COVID time. It was necessary, and now if you look backward, then that is the main cause of the inflation now.
Right.
So now you cannot say that what Biden did is the wrong thing that time. So this is issues where you have to go by issue to issue. So nobody's right and nobody's wrong.
But this is like dividing the country and calling out, those people who support President Trump as extremists?
Well, I mean, again, it's a political rhetoric, just like we have in India, right? Whatever BJP does, somebody calls out extreme, and whatever Congress does, BJP tells them extreme. So we don't know. It has no much meaning, that kind of rhetoric.
Goldman Sachs thinks the US is likely to avoid a recession. They noted the economy is showing resilience, including a healthy August jobs report that showed employers are still hiring. Inflationary pressures on good prices has clearly eased, and some overheated prices, for example, used cars, are starting to fall in absolute terms. To be sure, the Goldman analyst added that a recession is still a 1 in 3 possibility. What do you think?
I think it's a 50-50 possibility. And actually, by definition, we are already in recession. We are not waiting for recession. We are in recession. Because any recession means, by definition, if 2 quarters of growth is negative, it means it's a recession.
It is.
So now you have to describe whether this recession is a mild recession, temporary recession, or it's a moderate or sticky recession. So the time will tell. And as right now, Fed is keep increasing the rate, it means they believe that this inflation is very sticky, and that's why they will raise the rate till end of the year or even till next spring, and break the and bring the mild recession, and which then they will reverse themselves. So I think we are in recession. So you cannot say that there will not be recession.
Okay. My next question. Despite continuing Western pressures, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday spelled out India's keenness to expand trade, connectivity and investments with Russia while speaking virtually at the 7th Eastern Economic Forum being held in Vladivostok. And Russia and China recently conducted joint military drills. Where is all this leading to? Should India rethink its strategies and relationship with Russia?
I don't think so, because all this trade, the economical friendship, then what is right and wrong, and the economic thing is one hand, and the joint military exercise is other part. So, but they don't mix to each other, because joint military exercise doesn't mean that they are trying to, tomorrow they will trying to attack India. Same thing, India is doing joint exercise with the USA, Australia, Japan, and Japan. And so then that doesn't mean that we are ready to attack anybody. So I think again it's again a very individual issue and individual analysis on that issues.
Okay. My last question. Kids are back to school, the summer is coming to an end, and we have the season of festivities coming. What is the lineup of events for ITV Gold that our audience should look forward to?
Well, I think we're going to show more of reality programs. We're going to show more interviews, more expert advices, plus we are going to show, of course, nice soap operas. In the morning, we are showing the Doordarshan News, which is authentic news from the government of India, and also we are have hour or two of spiritual kind of communication with the gurus like Sadhguru and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So I think these are our lineup, and hopefully, and some Bollywood movies too, and hopefully people will enjoy it better.
And of course, you know, the Navratri is just round the corner, and
Yes.
Diwali.
And then, of course, we are covering our community events so much and so extensively, and we are showing that, and I'm sure people will enjoy that.
Thank you for your views and opinion, Dr. Parikh. Any closing statement before we depart?
Yes, dear friends, you know that now schools are opening up, summer is ending, fall is coming, so be careful from the COVID infection. try to be wearing mask when you are indoor with the crowd, and of course all the kids should get their vaccination according to their indication. And the second, another booster dose is coming, which has combination of the COVID and Omicron together, and most likely all the adult with the comorbidity or adult with the 55 and above should get that fourth injection sometime in October, November.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yes, and again I would like to say that God bless America, God bless Indian Americans, God bless India, and we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.